Hi, my name is Charcy Curtis, better known as Scissor Diva. Some of you may know me as a hairstylist, but today this is about the IM4GOD movement. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself before I actually tell you the story how IM4GOD came about. So, let me take you through the journey with me about how God molded me to the woman I am today. So I remember the first time really, my grandmother always took me to the church. And I remember the time hearing the story about Adam and Eve. And when I realized that I was one day gonna die, I just lost it. I actually went to sleep every night crying, thinking that my tears would turn into, God would say, oh, well, you would not be dying because you cried enough. But one day the Spirit came to me and said, look, are you gonna cry every night or are you gonna shake it off? So I realized at that time I stopped crying and I shook it off. Another thing I did when I was younger, I'm that girl that was raped young. Yes, I didn't let it control me. I control it. So I learned how to depress that. I'm that girl that tried the dance life and realized it was not for me. I'm that girl that got pregnant my senior year. That changed my life. Did not know how it was going to change my life, but God has a way of showing you why and what you go through in life. It made me a better person. I remember the first time actually having that one-on-one with God when he actually showed me a miracle. That was the day when I was 8 months pregnant with my son, and I was riding down the road to go see my baby daddy. On my way back, coming from seeing him, the brakes went out. Lost all the way down to the ground. Did not have no brakes. Instantly, I went to praying to God, talking about, God, I instantly knew I was going to die. God, I'm going to let you drive this car. Have your will, have your way. Whatever you do, do not allow my child to enter this world without me. So I took my foot off the brake slowly, put my hands on my shoulder, crossed them over, closed my eyes because I did not want to see the car that was coming around this curve. Instantly, I heard whoosh, 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 boom. In my mind, watching movies and all kinds of things, I thought whoosh, 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 boom meant dead. So at that moment, I was like, oh, okay, dying ain't that bad after all. When I opened my eyes, keep in mind, I thought I was dead. I was backwards in a ditch. Back of the car was curled around a tree. The front, God is so good, because let me tell you, the passenger side and the driver's side and the front window, they was not broke. All the windows in the back shattered. And everybody know, backwards accident, the glass should have flew across me and I should have got cut. So I thought I was dead because nothing was wrong with me. I didn't have a seatbelt on. No, I'm not promoting that, but I didn't have a seatbelt on. And I remember getting out the car. I said, okay, God, at that moment, I'm thinking I'm dead. I said, I'm about to get out the car and I guess the angel gonna come get me, So let me get prepared for when the angel come get me. So I got out the car slowly and I remember looking back at the seat because I wanted to see my body before I actually entered heaven, you may say. I remember seeing nothing. And I remember, to this day, I think like it was an angel because the person said, ma'am, are you okay? And I said, you can see me? And they said it again. And I was like, yeah, I can see you. I was like, you can see me. And they was like, yeah, I can see you. And I was like, okay, I'm tripping. Am I alive or dead? Instantly, when God sends somebody your way, you peacefully will go with them with no question asked. I got in the car with that stranger. That stranger said, can I take you somewhere safe? My aunt stayed down the street. So they took me to my aunt's. And I remember my aunt opened the door asking me, where are you coming from and this and third. I just wanted to use a phone to see like my baby okay or whatever because I was just in the car accident. So I walked past her, went to the phone, called my doctor, and my doctor was like, are you bleeding? Are you dizzy? Are you hurt or anything? I said no. He said, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow and we'll check you out. Speeding it up, went to the doctor, went nothing wrong with me or my son. He said, well, obviously, God is for you too, because ain't nothing wrong with either one of y'all. And to see the accident, you would not believe that I was fine. Like, literally, it's like God took me and put me in a bubble so that the glass or anything wouldn't touch me. Speeding it along, I remember I had to make a decision. I was supposed to go to law school. I like to debate. Everybody that know me know that. So I had said, when I got pregnant, I said, you know what? Law school takes 7 years. I'm going to take a short way, and I know how to do hair. I raised up around here, my mom, cousins, aunts. So I'm going to go to hair school. Went into hair school. At this point, mind you, I was a tomboy. Some of y'all don't mean I know that. The ones I went to school with, they know. So instantly I made a choice, and I said, you know what? I'm about to have a boy. I don't want my boy to be confused. So I'm going to cold turkey turn to this woman I am, and I'm going to actually dress up as a woman. The heels, all the girl stuff, I'm about to start doing it because I want my child to understand the difference. Keep in mind, this is my story. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just telling you my story. So instantly I did that for my son. So I started wearing from the makeup to the heels to the skirt, whatever it took so my son would know he's a boy and I'm a girl. From there, I went on to hair school and a hairstylist. I'm successful in that field. Those that know me, I love to cut. I had so many experience with God that he just protected me and took care of me at times that I should have. I say I shouldn't be here, but of course, you see I am still here. Coming in the teenage world, I mean, I was that girl that I was a hot girl. I liked the hot boys. So therefore, I had been around things that, I had. Things, some of us go through. But at the end of the day, God still used me, as you see, because I'm sitting right here. I'm not that perfect person you thought I was, did you? Hey, he can use anything, especially if he can use me. That's why I always tell people that, if I can change, you can change. I had an episode. I remember God helped me with that. My son's father was in prison, and so we didn't get along. So I got my son a phone at a young age. So communication with that was as far as my son to be able to talk to his dad. I never used to answer my son's phone. But let me tell you how God is. One day, my son's phone rung, and literally the Spirit said, answer it. I answered it. If I would not have answered that phone, I wouldn't be sitting here today. Because I answered that phone, the lady said, she said, where's your mom? I want to talk to your mom. I said, this is his mom. She said, well, ma'am, where are you at? I said, I'm down the street. She said, ma'am, please do not come home, because three people has got out of a truck in all black, and they're in your yard waiting for you. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? Say again. And she was like, I don't know what's going on, and I'm just trying to protect you from what may be happening. Now, keep in mind, I wouldn't answer that phone, I'd have came up on whatever's about to happen. But because God saved me, I sit right here in front of you. And true, going toward, that I'm a daddy's girl. So I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I don't know what's going on. Can you please get here? He was on his way. I called my daughter's father. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but you need to, get here, call the police. They told me, ma'am, wherever you at, stay there, because we're on the way. The person that was waiting for you, we're on a high speed chase with them, and we don't want you to run into them. So stay still. Speeding it up for that incident, God is so good. When I went and actually sat in the courtroom to hear what they had planned for me, and God said, intruded and said, not my child, I just can't do nothing but thank him. I mean, to hear them tell me that in the courtroom, the DA said, you don't have to come. And I said, I want to hear what was supposed to happen. And all I heard was the man say, well, we were supposed to tie her up, pistol whip her, pour gasoline on her, and if I don't cooperate, just burn the bee. At that moment, I was just like, who could be so harsh? Like, who? Just why? But because of God and my neighbor, I sit in front of you to tell you my ugly truth and things I went through myself, and how God really worked and when people tend to do things to you and it doesn't go forward because God entered into it. Like I said before, I'm just giving you a little story about me before the IM4GOD came about. I was that girl as far as my mom. I never forget, she told me my dad was at work, and I literally thought he was at work, and she told me the job was something that he had to stay at. And come to find out, as I got older, I found out work was jail, okay? And I thank her for that, because guess what? When kids asked me about my dad, I was like, oh, he at work. But actually, you know, she did that so I wouldn't have to go and say, oh, my daddy in jail. But me and my dad has the best relationship ever. That's a whole nother story, because he plays a part too about, you know, my relationship with God too. It's so many. I mean, and I'm quite sure all y'all got your own testimonies and stuff, but I just wanted to open up to y'all to let you know the ugly truth about me and let you know I've been through some things too. And if he can use me, he definitely can use you. I remember being that light-skinned girl that, hey, I wanted to be dark-skinned because of so many dark-skinned girls where it was like, oh, you think you cute. Oh, you think because you light-skinned, this gonna happen. I didn't think none of that. I was raised, I didn't see no color. So at the end of the day, when they said that, I was like, hey, I mean, I don't recall you having had a sheet to fill out to say what color you want to be. So if you want to argue about something, take that up with God. But because of that, I actually wanted to be dark skinned, because I said, maybe if I were dark skinned, I wouldn't have to worry about constantly hearing, you think you all this, you think you all that, because you light skinned. So for those that, you know, I'm speaking up for them light skinned women that we don't see no, I don't see no color. I'm speaking for I don't see no color. And I was that girl that wanted to be dark because of that. I was that girl that had to fight all the time to prove my point. Because, I mean, I had 7 brothers, so of course, you know, but at the end of the day, I really had to prove a point when I really shouldn't have, but that's life. We all go through it, you know. But I was that girl too in school. I bullied the bullies. If you bothered somebody, it didn't have to be my friend. I was the one to come around, and I'd definitely be like, well, hey, you know, I'll pick at you. I was that I always had a heart. Anybody that really know me, you know, they'll tell you that. For those that don't, you know, of course, they have all kinds of different stories. But the ones that really, really know me, they know how I am. I'm a person, I give the shirt off my back. But don't get it twisted. Everybody got that side. I mean, and because of God, I'm a new person, honey. Thank God. I'm definitely a new person. I'm nowhere like I used to be. I definitely have to give him thanks. I mean, literally, like, goes back to the brand IM4GOD. When I want to act up, God literally puts that brand in my face and be like, is it worth it? And I actually back up and say, you know what? You just got to pass from God. I'm going to let you slide. And I don't even pay you no attention. So for those be like, what are you talking about? When I say you got to pass, that's what I mean. Because God just showed me the brand. And I realized it's more bigger than both of us. So I'm going to just step back and let God handle you. I'm Charcy Curtis, and thank you for watching. See you next time.